Prince Andrew torn to shreds by woman who claims she is missing millions from Duke of York. Prince Andrew has been torn to shreds by a woman who claims she is missing millions from the Duke of York. A French socialite voiced her fury at Prince Andrew after he mysteriously found finances to stay at Royal Lodge, after King Charles told him that he would have to downsize to Frogmore Cottage earlier this year. Isabelle de Rouvre claimed that she lost more than £3 million to Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson in a dispute over the sale of a luxury ski chalet. She told the Mail on Sunday, "I am missing millions as a result of this man." She added, "I reduced what he owed me because they told me he did not have the money. I was left with little choice. They were apparently so poor before they had to pay me, and now they are so rich." Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Prince Andrew has relied on funding from King Charles since he stepped down from royal life after his infamous Newsnight interview in 2019, but has now found alternative financing. However, this week it was confirmed by the Keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, that the money the Duke of York will use to stay at Royal Lodge comes from legitimate sources. Despite not officially being working royals, Andrew and his former wife Sarah Ferguson still reside at Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate, fueling a feud between the Duke and King Charles. The former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Frogmore Cottage, was suggested as a suitable replacement after Andrew lost his right to taxpayer-funded security after being stripped of his royal duties. Royal biographer Robert Hardman revealed that his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, suggested evicting the prince, and she would have done so if she had lived another year. Government politicians have also demanded to know the Duke's sources of funding. Leeds MP Alex Sobel said, "Full disclosure of these funding arrangements is vital to uphold the reputation of the royal family." Prince Andrew booted out of Royal Lodge because he didn't take care of the estate. Royal biographer Angela Levin has claimed that Prince Andrew is to be booted out of his home because he is not looking after the building. Speaking to GB News, Levin described Royal Lodge as in a terrible state. The comments come as King Charles is claimed to have cut off Prince Andrew's annual £1 million allowance and withdrawn funding for his private security. Sources claim the decision was made after Andrew refused to vacate the 30-room Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park, where he resides with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. Speaking to Nana Akua, Levin said, "King Charles did say to Andrew that on the 1st of November he's not going to give him £1 million a month to help him keep going, and he's not paying 7 figures for all the protection officers for him. He's got to be on his own because he's not working royal, and also he's not looking after the building. He lives in a huge mansion with his ex-wife, and it's got 30 bedrooms and it's in a terrible state. Andrew took no notice, absolutely no notice. They have never got on really. And it's happened now. So we'll have to see what he will do. He has got a bit of money from the late Queen, his mother. But we will see." She added, "Catherine and William don't want it. His girls don't want it. He doesn't want it, Camilla doesn't want it. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they're certainly going to do something. It will need quite a lot of rebuilding." The Duke, who signed a 75-year lease on the property in 2003, is now facing pressure to downsize to the smaller Frogmore Cottage. Andrew's refusal to leave Royal Lodge has become a point of contention. The property requires an estimated £503,000 annually for upkeep. Despite pressure to relocate to Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Andrew has dug his heels in, as described by broadcaster Helena Chard. Royal expert Michael Cole told GB News that the security contract termination is a real problem for Andrew, given the expense of maintaining such a large property. Prince Andrew's royal return halted before it gets off the ground as he'd fail vetting process. Prince Andrew was linked with a shock royal return this week, as it was pointed out he could be the perfect person to act as a helicopter pilot for his brother, King Charles. The Scottish Express told how the monarch was on the lookout for an experienced flyer to join his chopper team known as the King's Helicopter Flight, TKHF. The Duke of York flew helicopters with distinction during the Falklands War and is said to retain a fascination with flying, spending hours at his Royal Lodge home tracking the takeoff and arrival of planes. Based at Odiham in Hampshire, the job carries a competitive salary with benefits handy for Andrew, who has become strapped for cash in recent years as he tries to pay for the upkeep of his home. But it has now been pointed out Andrew would likely fail the vetting procedure if he did shock everyone by handing in his CV. According to the Daily Mail, the Palace HR team states, "We will contact your professional, and sometimes personal, referees. We'll also undertake background checks in order to process your security clearance." And that would spell bad news for the disgraced Duke, whose links to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are well known. While an FBI probe into his friendship Epstein was paused, it continues to cast a pall over Andrew's head. The TKHF consists of a small team of pilots and ground support staff who provide an exceptional helicopter travel service to members of the royal family undertaking official engagements across the UK, according to the job advertisement on the royal family website. The King is looking for an experienced multi-engine helicopter commander who will act as either pilot in command or co-pilot. The successful applicant will be responsible for the planning and safe execution of flights and duties in accordance with TKHF Operations Manual. As well as flying duties, the job involves offering support to the Director of Flight Operations with a range of management and operational activities. The successful applicant would be required to live within an hour of RAF Odiham, not an issue for Andrew, whose Royal Lodge home is just 45 minutes away. The Duke is far from the only royal with experience of handling a helicopter. Prince William was a search and rescue pilot at RAF Valley in Wales and later an air ambulance pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance, while his brother Prince Harry flew Apaches with the Army Air Corps. The King himself qualified as a pilot in 1974, following in the footsteps of his father Prince Philip. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's very unusual living arrangement despite divorce. Sarah Ferguson, despite finalizing her divorce from Prince Andrew 28 years ago, still shares a residence and a close bond with him. The Duchess of York, who marks her 65th birthday today, has two daughters with the Duke, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. Despite Andrew's current wrangles with King Charles regarding where he should live, following difficulties maintaining the vast 30-bedroom Royal Lodge, both he and the Duchess continue to call it home. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments, and most importantly don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.